3 a.m. Rolling Stone, all I see is dust. We feel like rock stars, then we rock stars. Sex pistol posters, they never heard of us. I guess I need that white bride in that white car. So raise your glasses on me, cause we soon to bring the masses on me and shut down our hometown. Fuck up shit. My homie John copped them grapes and they busted. Rollies and ravioli, you in the cover of Vogue, bitch. Don't look between the lines or it'll fuck up your mind. She let her smell a line, let it fuck up her mind.
She let us smell a line, let it fuck up her
But the
mind.
lights keep falling. What if the night keeps falling?
Oh shit.
What if the night keeps falling? Summertime was the illest. Used to pull up like it was Christmas. Wintertime first, it's too cold, told them give me mine. Last night had a dream, but I died too many times, but fuck moto.
Winter bust out.
Time to take some fucking photos. Fill up the dressing room with real and rich and Quasimodos. So we pop the champagne. So drunk, spill liquor all over her very wine. It's timeless, but how many people here know it's the timeless? Spend about a minute
It's like a
on it.
shovel pack.
From the front row to the stage, it feel different, don't it? So I'ma shine while I'm here, making mine while I'm here.
All right. Vibes are high right now. 11:30. It took Ahmad half an hour to join the Zoom, but we're glad to finally have him. I don't know. It's like I feel like we're off to a bad start. 3. Like honestly, me and James Ahmad, we're having like really good conversations, like theological discussions and stuff. And then you joined, and it's just kind of been like hate ever since, and like animosity between the three of us. Like I don't know. What are the vibes like from your end right now?
I mean, it took me fucking 20 minutes to start this shit because my laptop doesn't work. So, I mean, I was just going to run off and cancel for the day. But I decided to be a team player, suck it up, because y'all were on my dick about it. So here I am. This better be a generational video.
I'm sorry we like you.
So vibes are good right now. I can't complain. Could be worse.
James, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing good. I lost a lot of money in poker.
Yep.
But I had Chick-fil-A right after. You know, I bought a bunch of alcohol, and I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to hate.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. I wouldn't necessarily qualify as hating because like we're gonna be correct for 9 out of the 10 teams today, saying why they won't win. So we're kind of already guaranteed a 90% success rate on this video, which kind of means it's like a no lose proposition. But I don't know what order we want to go in. But yeah, I mean, this is just gonna be why every team won't win this year. I feel like we should start off with like a light one. I don't know, how do we want to go? Do we want to go easy mode to hard mode, or like random, or what do you guys think?
I think we should go. We should just do random. Just pick whatever person and then just go from there.
Yeah.
All right. First one I clicked on was Ethan. Not the easiest one to start on. All right. Now we're gonna get better at this as we go on because we have to kind of hit our rhythm as a group. James, do you want to start off, and me and Ahmad will go off of you on this one?
Oh yeah, I can start because I've been looking at his team a lot. You know, Ethan and I talking a lot, trading, and it all just starts with Anthony Richardson. You know, I was hating on Anthony Richardson on Will's team last year, and I think the same thing is going to apply. Like when he's healthy, he's good, but it's like that's the whole thing. The best ability is availability. So, you know, you got guys like Richardson on there, Barkley on there who can't stay healthy. You've got Kyle Pitts, who's a mythical creature who's not real. James Conner is due to get hurt. I mean, Justin Herbert's in a run-first offense now with no receivers. So it's like those core positions at quarterback, you know, RB1, both quarterback positions and tight end. It's just like a lot could go wrong there. Obviously, his receivers and some of his flexes are going to hold him up enough. But I think the reason he's not going to get over the hump is because of those main positions at quarterback and tight end.
I like your analytical like approach to it and kind of going down the roster, but sometimes I think it's a little simpler than that. And it's just like a few things. A, the best team never wins. Okay, I think we would all say Ethan and Will on paper are the best teams. Best teams in this league never win. I won last year. No, I didn't. I don't think I had the best team preseason. And then the wide receiver thing, we've seen it with Will. We've seen it with Ethan in the past. The like whole like, oh, we're gonna have like the best wide receiver room of all time. We all know that two of those guys are gonna be gone by week 5. It'll be like here's a mod. You know what, guys? Like real quick, mod before I let you go. Have you guys ever realized that everyone builds their teams the exact same way? Like everyone, like it's trade all your depth and everything for a few stars, and then it's the reverse is trade the omega star for a little bit worse wide receiver and a running back, and everyone just does the same thing over and over again. It's just the Ethan's on that side. He's too far on that side. That's my reason. Ahmad?
Yeah. I'm gonna be straightforward. Injuries. I'm gonna hate. Someone's getting injured on that team. And I don't mean like the obvious James Conner or Anthony Richardson. I mean Amon-Ra, CD, or Chase.
Dude, Amon-Ra has to be due for an injury, right?
You know what? I'm not going to say who or what. You know, I don't want no bad voodoo coming my way. Even though I already put it out there, I'm not going to get specific. But one of those three I feel like is due for something. I don't know what it is, but I think one of those, because that's a lot. His team is built on those 3 receivers. Like if one of them go down, he's not cooked, but he loses a lot with just that. And I think that's when it comes into if one of them gets hurt, you trade down and get like 2 for 1 and kind of just regroup. But I think one of those 3 might be his downfall. But if they can stay healthy, I mean, it might be the right.
I put it 50-50 that Ahmad's going to trade for CD for like Jalen Waddle and like Rashad White by week 5. It'll be, I guarantee it's going to be Waddle, Rashad White, and like a 2026 second round pick for CD Lamb. Guaranteed.
I offered my soul for CD Lamb when Ethan first got him. It was bad. Like I offered, I'm not going to say this, but I offered like a 5 for 1, 4 for 1 deal just for CD. It was bad, dude. Thank God he didn't accept it because it was horrible. But
I'm so sad that the fake alpha that we can't keep that narrative going anymore because some of us just got to give up on a narrative. All right, let's move to a much easier one. Let's move on to Chris here. I'll go down the roster real quick. This one won't take too much analysis. He starts off with the best player in fantasy, Josh Allen, Ramondre and Javonte, a rookie wide receiver from Arizona. A wide receiver from the Jets who everyone oversizes him every single offseason. Evan Ingram, who will get 105 catches for 498 yards. His flexes are currently Curtis Samuel, Cole Kmet, and a wide receiver who's been on the trade block for 3 weeks and still doesn't have a team in Brandon Ayuk. And then he has Joe Burrow, who has, if you guys haven't seen, Slim Shady is his picture on Sleeper right now. So
that's bad.
Yeah, so that's Chris's team. Who wants to take it first?
I'll jump.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at his team the other day, and I remember looking at it thinking, like, was Chris supposed to be competing? And I was like, I'm looking at the roster, and I'm like, all right, well, he's probably got some picks, but like, if you go down there, like, he's got 225 first and a 25 fourth, which is fine. But it's like I expect those first to move at some point because, I mean, you just can't roll the roster out there. I mean, that would just be malpractice of the highest order.
Wait, no, sorry. He already traded one for Ramondre Stevens and Kendra Miller.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's got good quarterbacks. But I mean, the running backs are, I'm a running back hater, so it's whatever. But I mean, just Evan Ingram's not going to do it. Curtis Samuel's definitely not going to do it. I mean, Kmet. I mean, come on, what is this, 2022 or something like that? I don't know.
He doesn't have Justin Fields anymore. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well, you could even say he's got a crowded offense. There's no way he's getting a bigger target share than DJ Moore, Adunze, and fucking Keenan Allen. Like, there's just no chance. So I just think there's just too many mouths to feed for a lot of his players. And, if Ayuk ends up on the Steelers, like, the Steelers suck, so he's not going to do anything there either. He's going to be the next Deontay Johnson. So, yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it.
Ahmad?
This is another easy one. This team just fucking sucks, dude. Like, what is he doing? Like, is he competing or is he rebuilding? Like, that's the thing I don't get. Because you have you have
Oh no,
Allen and Burrow, but then you traded a first for Ramondre and Kendre instead of like for Pacheco or a James Cook or someone else that's actually more valuable. Then you have Curtis Samuel, Cole Kmet in your flex spots. What are we doing here? Like, I think if I'm Chris, I'm trading Allen and Burrow in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and let's not ignore the fact that Treylon Burks is still on his roster.
And honestly, Chris might have arguably the worst bench I've ever seen. Like, besides Jonathan Brooks on this IR spot, like, I'll let that slide. But everyone else is fucking horrible on that bench. Like, I don't think he has one player of value.
Yeah. I said he has an empty bench spot too. It's like he's not even trying. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's a few things. One, people forget Chris had the 1-1 this year. Like, he was literally the worst team last year. Like think about all the teams that have made out the complete mud, right? Like you both of you are examples of that. I would say Mark's an example of that, right? And all three of you are primed to win this year. And then there's this other bozo, Ethan, right? We just talked about him. Then Chris has been rebuilding the last 3 years, and this is what he has to show for it. Like, it's like, and then forget the team. Forget the team. It's all about coaching. Okay, we've seen it with Coach Fitzgerald. All right, I believe in curses, right? And I believe that you make your own luck. And I do believe that coaching, you can amplify your team or you can bring it down to a brick. And that's what Chris does. Give him as much talent as you want, and Chris will find a way to fuck it up. So it's that simple. We all know what Chris is gonna do. He's gonna be 7-7 this year, first round exit. Probably spent more time on him than we needed to. All right, we're gonna save us three for last though, because that's gonna be like the best part of this. Is gonna be justifying your own team. So let's move on to James Ball here, semifinalist last year. I'll go through the team. I guess I'll be the designated. Just go through the roster real quick, and then we'll kick it around. Jared Goff at QB1. The Lions have 14 of their 17 games indoors this year. Just a little tidbit for people out there. Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, looks good. This is going to be the horse meme where like it's half drawn really good and then it falls off. Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, so 2 beta wide receiver 2s. David Njoku, and then, oh my God, A.D. Mitchell in the flex. No, he has to have someone better on his bench. A.D. Mitchell. Actually, Josh Downs got hurt today, so maybe his stock is up. That's why James put him in there. Derrick Henry. Okay. Aaron Jones, who's like 30, and then Kirk Cousins. I think the average age of this team is 32 years old. On the bench, Devin Singletary is a little interesting, and no one else who's projected for more than 6 points. James. Other James, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy, I mean, like you said, he's got 2 beta wide receivers at his 1 and 2. He was texting me the other day, like he can't wait for my 2 guys to go down when I had Chase, so then his 2 guys can go up. So I mean, he's already got some bad vibes coming his way. Oh, it's great A hate from our local hero. No, his quarterbacks are fine enough, I feel like, for super flexes, whatever. But I mean, he's just not going to trade. Like if someone gets injured, like he's fucked because he's not going to trade anybody. He doesn't value picks at all. It's all
who hurt him. Like who hurt him? Like why is he so scared to trade?
I know he's afraid he's going to lose a trade, but it's like I remember reaching out to him for like I'm offering him trash. Like I'm offering him like Jamar Chase trying to get something done for like Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey, and he's like trying to throw me Devin Singletary, and it's just a disaster. There's just no hope for a GM who's just in an echo chamber like that. So I think he's going to be his own downfall. Like he's gonna score points. That's what James does. But that's just become the new baller brand: is score a lot of points and then do nothing with them,
and then lose in the playoffs. Yeah, Ahmad.
I think his team's just too old, honestly. Like, besides, like, the obvious, like, CMC and Derrick Henry, like, they're old guys, but they're still going to produce. But, like, Aaron Jones, he's not going to be enough. Kirk Cousins, I think he'll be, like, a solid QB2 at best. But, again, off an Achilles injury, like, that's still pretty significant. The receivers are whatever. Devontae Smith and T. Higgins, they're both the second options on their own teams. But granted, I mean, they could score points, but it's not going to be enough to get the job done. I think he'll make the playoffs, but that might be a first round bounce.
Again, guys, you guys are missing the point here. Okay. The biggest problem with this team is that Christian McCaffrey is the only West Coast player on the team. And if you've been playing fantasy for long enough, you know if your entire team plays at 1 o'clock, you're never going to get points. Okay. You need the 4 o'clock window to like it's me and Will talk about this a lot. We need at least 3 West Coast players on our teams at all times because you need to be able to make up ground. When you open up your app on Sunday and you see like 8 of your play, like maybe you have 1 Thursday night guy, 1 Sunday night guy, and then you see 8 guys playing at 1 o'clock, that's a depressing feeling. And that's more than the age thing, because I think that's the thing to go to here. It's just that everyone's on the East Coast, and it shows East Coast bias. And to me, it shows the lack of scouting in the Western part of the country, which shows some shortcomings. I mean, maybe James isn't paying for travel or airfare for his scouts. But yeah, I mean, look, honestly, James is probably my biggest comp for the last playoff spot if I'm looking at this completely objectively, as Ahmad has pointed out to me multiple times. His team scares me, but as he said, he looks a lot scarier in week 1 than he will by week 8, I would say. All right, let's go on to Nick Mills. All right, so let's go on to Mark Luther. CJ Stroud. All right, Mark. All right, let's go through Mills real quick. This should be a 2-minute segment. Number 15, James Cook and Alvin Kamara. Like, this team has no aura. Hollywood Brown, Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed at the wide receiver. Then we get into the jumbo package of Hawkinson, Kittle, Goddard, and Ferguson, and then JJ McCarthy at the superflex spot. Do we need to spend any more time on this, or are we ready to move on?
All I'll say is, if you need my analysis on this, just go back to what I said about Chris and just apply it to this one as well. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it short, sweet, simple.
James, you have anything on this?
Not really anything else to add. I mean, I feel like outside of Mills trading for Herbert, like when we first started the dynasty, like what major moves has he made? You know, like it's never anything crazy. He's never like going too far one way or too far the other, but he just waited so long that he's just fallen off. And like, I know I'm not trading for any of those flexes. Like, and like, you know, maybe he'll be different by the deadline. He'll be willing to trade some stuff off. But I mean, he doesn't have the juice.
I will say he traded with me this offseason. I traded him TJ Hawkinson and JJ McCarthy. The pick that was JJ McCarthy, and I got back Kirk Cousins, Devontae Adams, Christian Watson, and Isaiah Pacheco. So so he made a trade that day. But yeah, I mean, look, like y'all know how I feel about Mills in this league. If he didn't have 2 rings, he wouldn't be in it right now. Yeah, I mean, my thing is just how long can you hold 15 hostage on that elk graveyard of a roster before you just move on?
He's got to go at some point.
It's like if Wemby got drafted to the Detroit Pistons. It's like someone has to step in. Like Adam Silver would step in there. I feel like I need to step in at a certain point. But let's move on. That was a waste of a segment. All right, this one will actually be interesting, I feel like, because I don't know. I feel like this is probably the most polarizing team in the league. I would say is Mark's team. So you have CJ Stroud, Bijan Robinson, Zamir White, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Trey McBride, Nico Collins, no aura, Romeo Dobbs, Dalton Kincaid, and Jordan Love. He also has Rashee Rice, who might not get suspended anymore. And that's JSN, if you still believe in JSN, on the bench. Actually, let me start with this one, because like I just feel like I hate Mark's team. Like I don't hate Mark's team. From a like 50th percentile outcome, it's a very cromulent, well-structured team. But like, put a bullet in my brain if this was a team that I had to watch on Sundays. Like, I'm literally not showing up to watch Nico Collins or Puka Nacua play football. I'm not tuning in for Zamir White. I'm like, Trey McBride, like I'm not watching Trey McBride. So like Dalton Kincaid, like Jordan Love, like it's really like Mark picked like the most boring good players in the league and put them all on the same team. Aside from like Jefferson, Bijan, and Stroud are like, okay, those are cool guys. But besides that, he has no like excitement. There's no one that like makes my eyes glitter when I look at his team. It's just like, ugh. But I mean, I guess his team's good. I don't know. Why won't he win? Lack of excitement. I think they will. I think the team will stop caring. They're going to stop going to meetings by week 14. Mark's going to be in the front of the room being like, "Hey guys," and they're going to be like, "When's break?" One of them's going to be like, "Coach, I got 114 yards last week," and Mark's going to be like, "Actually, a top 10 wide receiver has averaged 117 last week," and the guy's going to be like, "Never mind, I quit." All right, but I don't know. Do you guys have any? Do you guys? I feel like I hate Mark's team. Like I actually genuinely despise Mark's team. Do you guys like it?
I think his team's actually pretty solid. I think my biggest thing, his team's just very like risk heavy, and he has no running backs either. Like besides Bijan, like Zamir White, you know what I mean? Like he has no one else. And then with JSN, I think he's a huge risk. Rashee Rice, that's only a risk if he gets suspended. So I mean that can play into it. Then Romeo Dobbs, I mean there's like 3 wide receivers that could be the one there. You know what I mean? So it's like
Melton, yeah.
All right. And then besides that, I mean his team is really good though. Like if Dalton Kincaid can be the number 1 option in Buffalo, it has a lot of upside.
Time out. Real quick, James. All right, sorry, this just hit me. He has every single regression candidate on this team. Literally everyone that broke out last year, that everyone's like, oh my god, like they're the new thing. Like, are we supposed to seriously say Nico Collins is a top 15 wide receiver? Like, just to name Nico Collins. I don't care. Like, he could be built like DK Metcalf and have had 1,700 yards. And if his name's Nico Collins, like, I don't believe in him. Jordan Love. No one thinks Jordan Love is actually as good as everyone says he is, right? Like Trey McBride, he's not going to be the only target in town this year. Puka Nacua, like Puka is not that effing good. Like I'm just telling you, like Mark's whole team took like performance enhancing drugs last year and like broke out of nowhere. They're not this good. No one gets Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Jordan Love, and Trey McBride breaking out in the same season. Like that just doesn't happen. Right, so Warren's going to find this level. But James, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, I'm not too moved by the team, to be honest with you. I mean, CJ Stroud is at the end of the day an Ohio State quarterback, and they're doomed to fail at some point. So I don't know if it's going to be a knee or an ankle or a collarbone, but something's going to happen. John's going to basically be splitting touches with Tyler Algier because the ghost of I don't even know, Arthur Smith is still there haunting that team. Yeah. I mean, are we going to believe in a Raiders running back that isn't Josh Jacobs? Jefferson is no one throw to him. You know, their draft pick isn't even starting. They have Sam fucking Darnold on that team. Puka Nacua, like you said, is a regression candidate. I mean, Trey McBride, you know, not the only guy in town, and who even cares about Nico and Dobbs and Kincaid's cool, I guess. But I mean, I'm not moved at all. I think this team sucks.
Thank you. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Yeah, Puka's already hurt, by the way. I did a little deep dive. Puka gets hurt every single year except for last year. So if anyone wants Cooper Kupp, hit me up. Anyways, let's move on to Gilchrist here. This one. All right, Brock Purdy. What was he, like number 30 something in the NFL top 100, 32 or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker, new coaching staff in Seattle, who apparently like Zach Charbonnet more, but Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Rome Odunze, Xavier Worthy, who I'm gonna be honest, like I fall for the Chiefs training camp videos every single year. Like last year is Kadarius Toney, this year it's Worthy. Luke Musgrave, Keon Coleman, Josh Downs, who's hurt by the way. Quentin Johnson in the starting lineup, and Tua. This team isn't going to win. This team is. I can't. All right, you know what? This is a lot of hating on today's episode. I'll say one good thing. Some of our people in this league need to take the note when they tear down the shreds. And I actually commend Gilchrist on knowing that, last year he could have came back with the same team. He could have said he got unlucky in the semifinals. He probably was the best team the last 2 years and didn't win a championship, but he was smart to get out, and this is what getting out looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I
Ahmad.
think this. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that was me. I kicked it to Ahmad late. James, you go. Ahmad, you're next.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about not being excited to watch Sunday football if you're Mark's GM. I mean, like, who are you tuning in to watch on Gill's team? Like, are you watching like some handoffs to Walker? No one wants to watch Purdy. All Tua's gonna do is throw it to Hill.
I'll say this. It actually is kind of fun, like to have like a bunch of rookies where you're just like hoping for like flashes. Like I feel like Rome, Worthy, and Keon Coleman could be fun, but everyone else is unwatchable.
No, yeah.
Fever is fun, I guess, and it's fun to do mental gymnastics until like it's week 5 and they're averaging 4 points a game and you want to kill yourself. So I think that's what's going to happen to Gill.
Yeah, no, the stench from that team is fucking disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. Like beside like his receivers, he has like some hope with like Worthy, Romo Dunze. Like he has some pieces that can flash for him. But the bright side for Gill, he knows he's ass. So he doesn't have to worry about every week and being mad no more. He can just sit back, chill out, and relax. Because he knows he's not making the playoffs this year. He just has to be ass. And with that team,
Gill has 3 firsts, 3 seconds, and 3 thirds next
that's
year.
what I'm saying, bro. He doesn't have to be good at all. He has to be shitty as hell. And he's already on the right path. Like he's already got the game plan. It's already there.
My only question is, why does he have Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford on his bench still?
I asked for Aaron Rodgers like a month or 2 ago. I was like, yo, Gil, like, can I get Rodgers? He was like, yeah, man, like a couple of people are hitting me up for him. I'm like, no, they're not. He's like, all right, man. He was like, can I get a running back? I'm like, I'm not trading a running back for a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. He was like, bet I could get someone to give me a running back for him. Still hasn't gotten one yet.
Running back.
Yeah, I don't know why he's trying to rebuild with running backs. Like I just don't get it.
All right. Let's move on to probably our hardest one, and then it will be a 3 left. Will. All right. Or Coach Fitzgerald, better yet.
There we go.
Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Travis Etienne, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Travis Kelce, Devon Achane, Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Jaden Daniels, and then on his bench, he has Carr and Mayfield and Terry McLaurin. I'll say this. Over under 2.5 torn ACLs on this team. Because look. Like seriously though. He has every athletic freak on his team. Tyreek and Jaden Daniels, Gibbs and Etienne, Tyreek, DK, Achane, Flowers. The only guys I wouldn't consider freaks are Travis Kelce and Diggs. But everyone else is like one cut away from tearing their ACL. Like, there's just no way this team is staying healthy, right? You can only have a few of these like lightning bugs on your team. And Will's like created like a cartoon lineup. Like this is like a comic book. Like it's like what a little kid. It's like, like when they say, oh, that's what like, a little kid thinks the world is going to be like. Like Will thinks like, oh my God, I'm gonna have like the fastest team of all time, and like we're gonna run around and score 1 million touchdowns. It's like, no, bro, this is football. This is contact sport. This is basically our modern form of gladiators. You have a bunch of like little pip squeaks who are gonna run their 4.240s into a linebacker, and you're not gonna see them for 8 weeks. Like this team is not staying healthy. So if they do, I'll see you guys in 2025.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. The injuries, there's just no way they stay healthy. I was going to say the exact same thing. But even if they do stay healthy, there's no way Devon Achane is that efficient again. That's impossible for him to sustain that 2 years in a row. Tyreek Hill, that is the most obvious injury of the entire season.
You just said if injuries don't happen, and you're like,
if they don't happen, but that's that. I have to make an exception for that.
Tyreek is the most obvious injury I've ever seen in my life, right?
I honestly don't remember like the last time like where he's had like a major injury. Like last year he had like his ankle last year was like a week or 2. I'm like, good one. But where's like the last major one he's ever had? I don't think he's had one. It's bound to happen. It's science. It's logic.
I haven't felt this confident since like Derek Rose's like comeback season that someone's gonna get hurt.
I'm telling you, like that is truly inevitable. But hey, if he doesn't get hurt, somebody else will. And then who else? Kelsey. I think Kelsey's another one. He's very hit or miss, especially based off last season. If he could stay on what he did in the playoffs, yeah, sure, you got it, I guess. But if he's like how he was the first half of the season and injured, and he has Taylor Swift in the building, I mean, Will is just running a clown show over there. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's always going to be a circus, and like I think this team sucks. Like I don't know if you guys remember, like this whole team just reminds me of like 2017 or 2018 Tyler Lockett. Like it's either going to explode or it's going to get 4 points. Like it's just so boom bust. You know, Jaden Daniels is a cursed Washington quarterback, so he's going to probably die in an explosion somewhere outside of FedEx Field. It's just gonna like, and he's gonna have his weeks. Like it just, the math is gonna math. But I think at the end of the day, like it's also Will. Like this lineup is going to change by the time this video gets uploaded. So I'm not worried about it at all. Will's never going to win. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, like this team's going to break the points record 3 times in the first 8 weeks, right? And Will's going to actually be like, we're going to see more than 2 texts in the group chat from Will. Like Will's going to be like a normal person in the group chat for a few weeks.
When was the last time we've heard from Will in the group chat? It's got to be at least since New Year's, right? Minimum New Year's.
He's more active in Sleeper than he is in the group meet.
Yeah, in the past 2 days since I've talked to him probably like for a total of like 1 hour, and that might be more than I've heard from him in the past year in the group chat combined.
Yeah, Will does it. Will's not about the group chat life. I don't know what happened. He actually, I feel like he never was. Well, I'll say Will one time, like this was like, oh man, it was during COVID, so we were apart. But Will went like incognito mode, and like Will didn't text anyone for like a month. And then anytime you texted him, he was like, "I'm in incognito mode," and like, like this is not a real person. So I don't know what games Will's playing. The only other thing I was gonna say is like, yeah, if everything comes to fruition and like Will, guys, he's 0-3 in finals, like. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have the lights at the end of the day.
No, it's not happening.
All right. We're going to have to come right back for 3 because our Zooms get about to run out. But we'll make our 3 quick and then we'll be out. All right. We're back for the main event. Now we'll go over our 3 teams. So I guess one of us will justify. Who wants to go first? Anyone want to defend their team first?
I will gladly go first. There's no flaw in my team, so try. I mean, you could try, but
go. All right, let's go, James. All right, so me and James, we're gonna change the format up. Time to go in, and then Ahmad just sit back for a few minutes.
That's fine. That's fine.
Kyler Murray, Breece Hall, Kyren Williams. I hate Kyren Williams this year. Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, Mark Andrews, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper, Rashad White, Trevor Lawrence, yikes. Bryce Young, the only quarterback off the bench, yikes. Chase Brown on the bench. Xavier Legette, who's had terrible training camp reports. Cortland Sutton, Tank Dell down there. You're so disrespectful benching Tank Dell for like some of these other guys. Anyways, let's go into it. Kyler, he's gonna be good this year. I'll keep it real. Kyler's gonna be good this year. Breece Hall, he's Breece Hall. Kyren, you just can't. You're it's like a moth to a flame. Like you just can't give up on these Rams running backs, and they're just gonna break your heart over and over and over again. Corm's gonna come in. Kyren was never good. He was never good. He's never a prospect. He was only good because of the situation. He's a situation back. And like the situation has changed, buddy. Like that's what situations do in the NFL. We're not worried about that. That was a terrible trade. Chris Olave and Jalen Waddle. Are we sure they're good? Like sure they're decent, but like how much of this is just us wish casting that they're these great wide receivers when they haven't done anything in their entire NFL careers? Like James, can you think of like, all right, hey, Chris Olave highlight, go. Does anything pop in your head? No, there's not a single play that pops in your head. Jalen Waddle highlight. All you see is like, you're like, oh, I remember on Red Zone that one time he was kind of running across the screen. And then half the time it ends up being like, oh, that was Tyreek. Never mind. Like, I mean, I guess they're cool and they're young, but it's like, what's significantly different between them and Devontae Smith? I don't know. Mark Andrews is fine, but he's going to get hurt like usual. Debo's fine. He'll get hurt like usual. Amari's going to be really good because he has an MVP candidate throwing him the ball this year, so I can't even hate on the Amari take. Rashad White loses his coach from last year. He's like RB 29 in success rate last year. He sucks at running the ball. He's only good at catching. And then we get to the worst player on this team, Trevor Lawrence, the most Mickey Mouse franchise quarterback of all time. Literally the worst franchise quarterback. If Trevor Lawrence turns out to be if Caleb Williams turns out to be Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to throw myself off the roof of my apartment. Like, that would be like the most devastating thing to ever happen to me. But James, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I mean, I can start with the positives, and that's like there's always next year, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never been a believer in Kyler. All he does is run around. So, like, he'll score some points, which is cool. Brees Hall's ACL is just a ticking time bomb on that godforsaken field. I was Kyron's biggest lover, you know, biggest supporter, and that's because I knew he was trash and I wanted to trade him away. Like, he was a running back at a Notre Dame. Like, you can't even name any Notre Dame players in the NFL.
James, how good did it feel to get Kyron off your roster?
It felt amazing because like every video I watched like near the end of the season was like sell high, sell high, sell high, sell high, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get rid of him because you know I think he was undrafted or something. I took a flyer on him on the waiver and he did his thing, which is cool. But he's like I said, he's James Robinson. Like that's just who he is at the end of the day. You know the situation's already changed.
Yeah.
You know Olave's. You know who even cares? That offense fucking sucks so much.
You talk about players you don't want to tune in to watch on Sundays. Chris Olave is like the 101.
He's cool, but it's like who wants to watch the Saints, man? Like it's just so boring.
Yeah.
Waddle had some cool highlights at Alabama. Mark Andrews hasn't done anything since 2021. Like he's gonna get hurt, and Ahmad's gonna come crying for Isaiah Likely. I'm not gonna give him to him. You know, Debo's cool, but like you said, he's gonna get hurt. Amari's whatever, and Rashad White. Ahmad doesn't even like Rashad White. Like he's been trying to trade him all offseason. Like I feel like
all offseason, bro. Every trade he has Rashad White in.
Like him. Like how are you gonna support your team when you actually hate like half the players on them? And you know, you already said everything you can about Trevor. Bench is cool. I like Tank Dell, but I see guys like there's a lot of locker room cancers. You got Miles Sanders, Alexander Madison. I mean DJ Chark.
Yeah. Yeah,
roster cloggers, Cortland Sutton. I mean, good lord! Like, what? I just don't know what we're doing on the bench, man. Like, it's got some names on it, but you know, nothing substantial.
Ahmad, can I ask you a question? What is Colby Parkinson? What's the long-term play right there? Like, what's the point of him having a roster spot?
He's tight end one. You just don't know ball. Tyler Higbee's injured. They need somebody to throw the tight end.
I know we did not just talk about Tyler Higbee in the year of our Lord.
That's how I know you don't know ball, James. He be scoring points.
Oh, man.
See, this is y'all just yapping. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Can I speak now?
Yeah.
All right, well, we already got Kyler and Brees out the way, generational talents. James, you texted me today for Kyron Williams, so I don't want to hear anything. Mitchell, you texted me yesterday saying I cooked with a trade for Gibbs, so don't say anything either. Waddle, he had 1,300 yards his first year as Tyreek Hill and was injured all last year, but good try. Olave has a cancer patient throwing him the ball, but hey, you know, 1,100 yards.
Is that supposed to be a positive? Is that supposed to be like...
Dabbing with Drake London, just all I need, just wait. You'll see the vision.
James, Drake London won a lot of fantasy championships last year, but keep going.
This year. It's going to be this year. But don't worry, It's fine, though. It's fine, don't worry. Also, James, you said you watched a lot of YouTube videos telling you to sell Kyron Williams. You're a sheep. You can't make your decisions for yourself. So don't speak on Kyron, all right? Don't speak on my GOAT. Don't speak on my GOAT, bro.
Yeah, have fun.
Mark Andrews, he's not getting hurt because he was on your roster. He's going to fight for me. You don't know how to coach players, but that's fine. Deebo Samuel, that's wide receiver 1 in San Francisco. You know, Brandon Ayuk's gone. Thank God he's on Chris's team, on a rebuilding team, so it's already doing us justice. Amari Cooper, dog. Rashad White, he doesn't need to run the fucking ball well. He was an RB1 last year just by catching the ball. That's all I need. And now we bring it to my GOAT, my franchise QB. I don't know why there's disrespect. Mitchell, you were texting me every Sunday last year saying Press Taylor was Hitler. Every week you were there with me. You saw it. Trevor Lawrence got injured literally the entire second half of the season. Concussion, sprained ankle. Then he had his fucking back injury, but he's healthy now. People forget. He threw 4 interceptions in the first half and then won a playoff series on a comeback. But hey, people don't want to talk about that. No. People don't want to talk about it. It's fine. I get it. It's fine. Chase Brown, RB1. Xavier Legette, that's AJ Brown 2.0. Mitchell's lying about the false reports. He just be getting hurt. It's fine. Tank Dell, that's wide receiver 1 in Houston. Kobe Parkinson, tight end 1 in Los Angeles. I don't have to say no more, bro. My team's flawless. Y'all tried. I appreciate it. But you guys did. It didn't work.
You got all these number 1 guys on the bench not scoring any points. That's crazy.
I have too much talent. I can't start everyone.
That's bad. It's bad coaching. Like it's not a flex.
Bad coaching. I mean, Najee.
Bro's like, look how much value I'm wasting on the bench.
And I got Lamar Jackson an MVP last year from my coaching, but it's fine.
This team is so mad. Like it's like I'm not gonna hate him on it's like I think you'll make playoffs, but like this just doesn't look like a championship team to me. This looks like a perfectly average team.
Don't you have me as the top 3 team every time you do rankings? But it's fine. No, it's fine.
That was before the Breeze trade.
No, it's okay.
No, I liked your team before the Gibbs trade.
Mm-hmm. But then how come you tell me I cooked right when I made
I didn't. There's no way I told you cooked on that trade.
It's fine. I'll show James later. It's fine. I'll show James later.
I don't want to see.
No, it's fine, James. I'll show you because I know you're interested. You want Kyron as well. You know, you get hit my phone later.
I did say you cooked. And I put this lion meme in here with him with stonks. So if you think I'm being serious right there.
You're a fan. It's fine. I get it. It's cool.
Yeah, why don't we talk about a real championship team now? We can talk about me.
All right. James. Jalen Hurts, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, AJ Brown, Drake London, Sam Laporta, DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Dak Prescott. On the bench.
The bench is
still scrolling. I'm still scrolling. I guess Jacoby Myers, maybe. Jesus Christ, this bench is terrible.
He has Sky Moore on the bench.
Yeah.
Play the bench on Sundays, guys.
Whoa. Give us our time. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest. This like First impression, this is a much prettier team than the team I just looked at. But it's like there is no depth there, so I get it. Hurts, let's call it what it is. No Kelsey this year, so the tush push is gone. But Hurts is also just like bad. Like probably
he's a fullback.
Probably the worst contract in the NFL. He'll probably. We lost.
Is he grabbing a jersey?
He'll probably finish okay in fantasy.
No, he's putting on a jersey, right?
Like there's no way. Like you need to be able. All right, I'm gonna wait till he comes back because you need to be able
to put on the jersey. That's mental illness, dude.
James, I'm actually gonna let you interject real quick. You need to be able to separate fantasy James from Eagles James. Let me talk to Eagles James for a second. How do you feel about Jalen Hurts as your franchise quarterback?
Dude, did you not? He just broke a record today.
Oh my God! No
Jesus,
way we're talking about
this is mental illness, bro.
We're not talking about the
no, don't even talk.
60 passes in training camp, no interceptions. Nobody's ever done that. He's breaking records before the season even starts.
Where did he do this?
Push.
Where did he do this at?
Training camp.
Oh, okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we heard that.
How's that defense? How's that defense looking this year?
Terrible.
Yeah. No. I mean, look, Jalen Hurts sucks. Like, hopefully Saquon takes away a lot of his touchdowns because the fact that he gets in the MVP candidacy every year for literally falling forward because he's fucking fat is an embarrassment.
It's a fullback.
Yeah. Running backs, Josh Jacobs.
Fat.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon. Fuck, dude. Joe Mixon sucks. Real quick, Joe Mixon might actually be like one of the worst running backs we've ever seen. He was
no, for real.
He's actually
his
so bad.
his expected, like, he always leads the league in like expected fantasy points, and then comes in at like 17th. It's crazy.
He only has like there's only a reason why he's like a top 12 running back every year. It's because he has like one game a season where he drops like 40 points, and everything else is just like 9-10 points.
And he beat a woman in college.
What
AJ
a thug.
and AJ Brown.
He's alright, I guess.
He's okay. I mean, whatever. He'll be screaming at Hurts by week 6. Drake London. This is another guy. Like, are we even sure he's good? Like, Drake London gets no separation. He's like Mike Evans minus like 50% of the athleticism. So it's like, oh, cool. We have a jump ball guy who like.
I mean, he's cool. I mean, he hasn't even been a top 30 fantasy wide receiver, and he hasn't even cracked 1,000. I mean, Garrett Wilson did that with Zach Wilson, but hey, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and the league is moving away from like who Drake London is. Like, we're not throwing the Joey Galloway anymore. This isn't like 2003 football anymore. Sam Laporta might have had the most fraud tight end one season of all time. Like,
that's never happening again.
No, it's never happened.
Like, because the touchdowns are going to at least like 4, 5, 6 max. Well, how many do you have this season?
10.
Yeah, that's not fucking happening again.
But also this season sucked for tight end one. Like, he was like 86 catches for 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. And people just because every other tight end failed, everyone was like, oh, Sam Laporta, tight end rookie one. Like, who cares? He's gonna be tight end 6 this year. Yep. DJ Moore, go, but a lot of competition. Devontae Adams, I don't know if you guys saw a receiver. Dude, he's out of there. He's out of there. Yeah.
He's a jet, so respect.
Dude, James has Mike Evans too. I guess he has a thing for, and AJ Brown. Dude, you have like heightism. Like you literally have a type. You just like the big ass wide receivers, jump ball guys.
You a freak, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it. And then Dak like,
dude, Dak he's not in Dallas next year anyway. So I mean, you only have 1 year, James.
Yeah,
if it's not this year, he's gonna be throwing the fucking ball in the XFL. So you better take advantage this year, buddy.
I'll be honest, but let's be honest, Ahmad. That's a pretty nice starting lineup. The problem is by week 6, 3 of those guys are gonna be hurt, and he's gonna be like, oh, here comes Jaleel McLaughlin in at my flex this week. Like, I hope it goes well. So I mean,
J.K. Dobbins as his RB3. I mean, what are we doing here? Stinky ass team, dude. When Josh Jacobs goes down in week 4 and Joe Mixon gets hurt right on cue, and he has to start Jaleel McLaughlin and J.K. Dobbins, I mean, dude, we're gonna be eating good in the league. Oh my goodness! And he just has a lot of receivers with target competition. Mike Evans, you have fucking what's his name? DJ Moore, AJ Brown. Like, you just have people that have competition. You have no one that stands out for targets. I guess Devontae Adams, but he's Gardner Minshew's throwing him the ball.
But he'll be a jet. He'll be a jet by
but he'll be a jet. So good move by you, James, to get him. I respect that. But besides that, the bench, Chris Diaz level bench, like, irrelevant.
All right, James, you can go.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll say it again. Like, the bench doesn't score points, so like it just doesn't matter. And like,
you need depth though.
You need depth when you need depth. Like, I'm trying to make the best starting lineup I can with the resources I have. And if someone gets hurt, I'll figure it out. I got a first and I got 2 seconds. Like, I'll patch it up. It's whatever. And you're talking about target, like, my receivers have target issues or like having to worry about getting target share. Mike Evans, wide receiver 5, Devontae Adams, wide receiver 11, DJ Moore, wide receiver 6, AJ Brown, wide receiver 7. Like, these guys, it's not a problem for them. They're doing their thing. Joe Mixon, I don't need him to be a good running back. I need him to score points, and that's all he does in fantasy. He finishes top 10 every year, and he's going to do it again in an even better offense. Jacobs has a better offense too. He's going to eat. We got him in shape. We got a nice diet plan going. Drake London, I'll be honest, I don't know. I never put any thought into him until I traded for him, so he could be good or not. I don't need Jalen to be a good quarterback. I need him to score points, and Dak's going to score points too. I don't care if he's playing in the XFL or the EFL or, I don't care. He could go anywhere. Like, these guys are, at the end of the day, These guys are going to score points for me, and they're going to win me a championship. And that's all I need to know.
Yeah, you also have like a weird collection of like super dusty guys, and like, I mean, your team's low key kind of dusty. Like, Jacobs
dust.
is what?
You need dust on your team.
You have a retirement
I
home as
agree.
your starting
I
lineup.
agree. I agree. You need like a sprinkling of dust, but like Mixon's done, Adams is done, Evans is done, Dak is nearing the end. I mean, I have 40% lineup. What's wrong about that, dude? When Dak goes to like, I don't know, what's the most likely Dak? Like, if Dak goes to the Steelers next year, done, done.
Done for.
And then guess what? I got Trey Lance ready to step up.
Oh my God! Give up the dream. Give up.
Yeah, this team's cooked. I don't know. I honestly like. Out of all the teams we've seen so far, this is a real contender. I gotta say that. But I don't actually think like I do think Sam Laporta is a complete fraud. Like I do not think. I think that was what did you give up for Laporta?
I didn't even give up that much.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's not a bad trade. Never mind. I was bad Joan.
DJ Moore might be the biggest fraud on your team. He scored, 50 points against the Commanders, and that literally skyrocketed him up to being the number 6 receiver.
Yeah,
Take that out. That bozo was in the 20s.
He was catching slants from a running back.
All right.
Hey, I'm calling.
Are we ready to go on to my team? Like, let's not start talking about Justin Fields yet.
I guess.
Well, someone else has to intro my team now. I'm not going to introduce the All Stars.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, James, go ahead.
And so, I mean, there's nothing else to say about Caleb Williams that hasn't been said. I mean, he's gay. I just need him. He's gonna confuse a lot of players in the locker room. That's gonna lead to a lot of unfortunate situations. You know, we all know Najee's on. You know, he's fat. Swift has nothing left in the tank. That offense is it's gonna have too many mouths to feed. There's no way they're gonna feed him. I mean, are we gonna pretend like Ridley's still an asset in the year of 2024? Same with Cooper Kupp. I want to talk about dust balls. I just coughed on some dust just now. You got Kupp, Ridley, all back to back to back right there. Like that's dusty as it gets. Christian Kirk is a fake person. Malik Neighbors is an absolute thug with the capital T. Keenan Allen's also a dust ball. Deshaun Watson should be in Arkham right now in maximum level security prison. I don't know how he got out of his straitjacket. Brock Bowers is whatever. Like you were talking about the Raiders' offense with Adams being cooked. Like what the hell are they going to do with the tight end? Like Minshew's not feeding him. I don't know. I mean, and then you look at the bench. I mean,
let's look at the bench. Yeah.
Looking at the bench, Geno Smith cooked, Fields, whatever. I don't recognize any of these running backs until we get to Eckler and Montgomery. I don't know any of these receivers at all until we get to Hopkins. I know that isn't Mike Williams on the injured reserve.
I think he's back.
He got activated off the pup today. Yes, sir.
And here, my biggest thing with this team, and I looked at this the other day. Like, I remember looking at it and being like, "This is definitely not winning a championship. Like, this is not winning a championship." And then he can't even package players to get better players. I feel like no one's gonna want to trade for the majority of these guys. And then there's no picks in 2025, so it's
it's all in 2026. Yeah, that's mental illness right there.
Yeah, you can't attach any of those like next year picks to anybody. Like, no one's gonna value those 2026 picks that high yet. So like, I just feel like this team is just going to be stuck this year. Like I don't even think it's going to make noise. I wouldn't be surprised if it missed playoffs, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I mean, it's fighting for the last spot with James Ball's team. Like this team just has a bunch of old players past their prime that Mitchell thinks he could get another year of production out of, and it's just over. Austin Eckler's done. D-Hop is done. Keenan is done. Ridley, he might be good, but he's not producing like at ATL, Calvin Ridley. You know what I mean? Like Deshaun Watson, he needs to be disgusting play. I don't even want to speak about that. I almost threw up. Najee Harris is your only good player. I love Najee. That's generational. He's franchise. I'll give you that. I respect that. He's sensational. But besides that, you have Jordan Addison, thug. Like, what are we doing here, Mitchell? And then your running backs, besides David Montgomery, they're just a bunch of rookies you're banking on. They'll be on the waivers by the trade deadline.
Are you guys ready?
I just don't have anything else to say. And then you have all these 2026 picks. For what?
Yeah, this team, there's not a single player on that team that moves me.
Not a single player. The only one that has like slight bit of motion is Malik Neighbors, but that's it.
Yeah,
And
if I'm staring down that lineup in like my little weekly matchup thing, I might not even sweat at all. Like no one's gonna be like, oh man, Brock Bowers might go for 30. Oh my gosh, or DeAndre Swift. It's not gonna happen.
Every time I open Sleeper, it says I'm playing against Mitchell week 1, and I just look at that roster. I'm not playing in week 1, but I just laugh every time I see it. Like, this shit is a joke, dude. He honestly might be competing with Gil in that toilet bowl if he doesn't make playoffs. That team is stinky.
Yeah, and it's like it's crazy how you can win a championship in like the flukiest way possible, and then like it's like if Bill Belichick won a championship with the Patriots and then just blew up the arena right afterwards. Like there's just no reason to do it, and yet here we are with no picks next year, and there's just a bunch of Jags on the team.
And mind you, if you try trading, if you try giving him a 25 pick, he doesn't value it. He's like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? It's like, what do you mean? What are you going to do with this? There's a draft class coming up. So, I mean, that might be that GM definitely has the most CTE out of all of us in the league by far. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He's got the most to lose because if Caleb Williams sucks, like that's it. Like where do you even go from there?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I have no more to speak on this concentration camp of a team. So,
yeah, I'm glad you brought up my championship last year. Because as the only champion sitting in front of you guys today, I feel like it's my responsibility to drop maybe a little ball knowledge on you guys. And how have you guys done the last 2 years? Can you guys like spit out your resume real quick since we've moved to Dynasty?
I can just say that you're not the only champion in the Zoom call right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Only football fantasy champion in the Zoom call right now. Yeah. Look, guys. This has been, and I'm glad I got to go last because I can give this little soliloquy. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. You know, you guys have been doing this exercise all wrong all night. You guys are looking at week 1 lineups and you guys are trying to base predictions on what's going to happen later on this season. Guys, you guys are building lineups. Me, I'm building a culture. Okay. And a culture can't really be defined and it's hard to see from the outside. But let me tell you, when I'm in there with my guys each day, I feel something. I feel like we're building something special. And it's the same feeling I had last year when we built something special. Like, yeah, honestly, I can look at this lineup from a different, perspective, from your guys' perspective, and I can see how you can paint a negative picture on these guys. We've been doing it all night. But, one of these teams is going to win. And I think my team has as good a chance as any. I mean, here's the thing. Come on, chill out. Here's the thing, you guys are. Here's what you're not quantifying for. Okay. Let's just do a quick upside case of a few guys real quick. Calvin Ridley. He apparently is the star of Titans camp right now, and Deshaun and DeAndre Hopkins is hurt already, so he's gonna get a ton of targets. Puka's hurt. I got Cooper Kupp. Malik Neighbors, he's the star of Giants camp right now. I mean, like, we're already building something. And I get that you guys don't understand it because it takes a certain amount of ball knowledge to understand what I'm building here. And I guess the closest analog would be the 2021 Warriors. We're going to win now with our win now guys, but we're also going to set ourselves up for the future. And it didn't work for the Warriors, but it's going to work for me. People are like, oh, what direction are you going in, Mitchell? Like, we wake up every morning and we text you wondering what you're going to do because that's all we think about. And like, hey guys, it's flattering like that. All you guys keep reaching out and wondering about my team. But guys, like, I don't need to pick a direction. Like most people, if you go onto any YouTube video, they're like, are you a win now team? Are you a rebuilding team? Like, define yourself. I'm undefinable. We're undefinable. We define ourselves. We're a win anytime team. And I think it's going to be a little hard at the beginning for me to find the balance of when to play David Montgomery versus when to play Austin Eckler, or like when do I sit when do I sit Kristen Kirk for DeAndre Hopkins? Like I've so many options that it's hard to pick the right ones. But once I start picking the right ones, it's going to be hard to beat me. And as far as the 2025 class, I mean, it's the worst draft. It's the worst draft class in years. So like. I'm not interested in it. We're there for 2026. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I think we're embracing volatility here. I would rather be unknown week 1 than known week 1. You guys are all secure with your teams. That means that you're closer to your ceiling. I don't know what my ceiling is. What's Christian Watson going to be? What's Jameson Williams going to be? I don't know, but we're going to find out. And that's better than knowing what my guys are going to do. James, you're over here being like, oh, I know what Mike Evans is going to do. He's going to be wide receiver 9 on, 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. It's like, okay, like that's fine. But me, It's like, I don't know. I have a bunch of mystery boxes on my team. So
you need therapy, dude. You need therapy. There's no way you look at that team every morning and be like, wow, this team is so good. I'm so happy this is my lineup.
Dude, having to make a start-sit decision between Christian Kirk and DeAndre Hopkins is that. I mean, I'm praying for you, man. That's tough.
Well, the Hopkins injury really clears it up early in the season. Look, guys, I'll be honest. Every night before I go to bed, and this episode has kind of pushed back my bedtime, but after we get off this, I'm going to go onto Twitter, and I'm going to look up all my players one by one on Twitter and read their training camp reports for the day. And I'm just telling you that it's been mostly positive on the training camp so far. So, yeah.
All right, real quick. Who do we think is going to finish dead last?
Mills.
Gilchrist.
I think Gilchrist too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do we think is going to win?
Oh, that's
objective.
Okay. Next episode is why. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. What about toilet bowl? Like, who are the bottom 4 going to be? Like, I think we'll all say Mills and Gill.
I say Mills, Gill, Diaz, and probably it's a toss up between Mitchell and James Ball. Whoever gets that last playoff spot, I don't know. It's between one of those two.
Yeah, I think the same. I think if James stays healthy, Mitchell's definitely going in there. And if Mitchell against Chris, I'll make the bold prediction that Chris is going to win that game. I'll go on record and say it right now. If they meet in the toilet bowl playoffs, Chris is winning that game.
Probably. Because Chris always ends out in the middle. Last question, then we'll hop out. Out of who's more likely to miss playoffs, Ethan or Will?
Will.
Ooh. I say Will. But I only Will. But
I also think Will has a better chance of winning. So
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
His like bell curve, like he's more towards the edges, I guess.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, I'm gonna go look up local therapy places, but
there we go.
I'll see you guys next time.